Hey, it's been a good while since I've seen that.
Yeah, most emulators don't include the BIOS. So, so I think this is the first Sonic game on Nintendo console. I think this predates that Sonic Adventure 2.
Ah,
Not the Dreamcast version, but the GameCube port.
right, right.
In between. I think. I hate saying things and then finding out I'm wrong later.
Well, this has compatibility with the Chow Garden,
Right.
so I don't
Well,
know.
definitely made in tandem.
Yeah, yeah.
The day we never thought we'd see Sonic on a Nintendo.
Yeah, I know. I do like the we have the thing where you choose a character, but now it's not like some dumb thing with the alternate stories. It's just you play a Sonic game with
This
different
is a Sonic
characters.
game.
Yeah,
Could just
yeah.
ended there.
I kind of forgot we used to do that, and then things changed. Oh yeah, the forgot they have like just Sonic 1 music there.
Isn't it the Japanese characters on the title screen? Like that's in all versions. They're like there. Like it's
This
weird.
is it? Jeez, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
So we got
Maybe it's a
another.
PAL thing. I actually got my cop. I think I got a bootleg version of this game in it when I was on holiday in Asia. So, because the cartridge barely fits, it's like you got to squeeze it in.
Jeez. So I haven't played this in forever, and I haven't really seen it in a long time either. But I remember I played the shit out of this when I was a kid, and I loved all the music, and I liked playing all the characters, and just had a good time with it.
Yeah. Probably. I think the consensus is this is the best of the three.
Yeah, I never really got into the other ones, and it sounds like they changed it up quite a bit. Doesn't one of them have like a chaotix gimmick? With like the rubber band?
It's not as a, it's not no, it's not a rubber band, but they are like paired. See, I don't know how much I want to talk about because I don't know if we'll actually get around to doing it, but well, basically you've got this one which is pretty standard Sonic fare. Like it's not really that weird, and you know why would it be? Because it's the first like 2D Sonic game in years.
Yeah.
This is like, well, I guess 7-year gap, I believe. From like, so like, this is 2001, I believe.
Mm.
So that's a, yeah, from 1994 was like the last main Sonic game, so that's quite a,
Jeez.
at the time. Not counting like things like Chaotix, because why would you? Even if you count Chaotix, that's still a big jump. And the 8-bit games, and Sonic Pocket Adventure, which is a great game. But that's just kind of Sonic
Right.
2, kind of. I never saw these because I never found the springs. And I think I've made my position on my when I was a kid, I didn't really bother with the emeralds.
I only half remember this. Like, I remembered there being like some sort of boarding thing as the minigame. And seeing it now, I'm like, this doesn't look familiar at all.
No, I can't even remember the other two. So I made it quite clear that I have a history of not really bothering that much with the Chaos Emeralds, apart from kind of Sonic 3 Knuckles, where you kind of need it to get to the last level.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got the emeralds in the advanced games, like ever, or even like tried.
I know I've tried, but I don't remember how successful I was.
I think in this game you've got to find that specific spring in each level, so it's not like you can just get the ring at the end of the level, or several giant rings, or a signpost. It's like no, it's one area in the level, so that's it's a little obtuse.
Yeah.
So the thing about Pocket Adventures, Pocket Adventures is actually relevant to this because it was made by SNK staff, and Dimps, who made this game, is pretty much made up of former SNK staff. So in a way, Pocket Adventure was the first Dimps made Sonic game who made the Advanced series, the Rush series, and everyone's favorite Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Oh,
So,
Jesus. They made that? Oh my god.
Yeah, Dim. So this game's pretty good, and
Yeah.
Pocket Adventure is great. But it's not really apparent in this game, but they have a reputation for just putting speed boosters everywhere. Like the stereo. Well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The stereotype of Sonic games being just hold right to win is actually kind of verging on being true for them.
Yeah.
And that becomes more true over time with like. And yeah, this is the first time. Well, technically, second time we're seeing the adventure designs in 2D form. We've got a green-eyed Sonic.
Oh yeah, yeah. Forgot he does that. Yeah,
I really do want to make a tier list for all these games because I'm trying to think like where would I put this, because this game's fine, but it's not. I can't articulate why it's not as good as the 16-bit ones. But it is good.
yeah, it's. I think the well, mostly like playing as Amy is pretty interesting because the other characters are kind of faithful to the original, whereas Amy is like kind of an interesting one where like I don't think she actually has the like standard jump.
Mm-hmm.
So she actually has to use her hammer to actually attack enemies, and she gets like a long jump or something like that.
Notice I have a lot more to say when I've actually played, like, have a history playing the game. Oh yeah, the absolute best version of this game, Sonic N for the Nokia N-Gage. Now picture this, a Sonic game, this Sonic game on a portrait screen.
Yeah.
Imagine this game, but you've cut off the sides, so you can't see where the fuck you're going.
Oh god, what?
Yep, that's the N-Gage.
Fucking N-Gage, wow.
Yeah. Nice sprite work, like consistently through the seas. They also did like the sprites for Sonic Battle,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which is like pretty consistent with his style.
Yeah, just throughout, just really good looking sprites, and this game's it's all right. I don't remember there being a lot of problems with it that I had.
Oh, there is one big problem with it.
What's that?
Egg Rocket.
Hmm.
That level's like stupid. Like stupid hard.
I remember being fairly difficult. Yeah. Like overall, I think the game is more challenging, but like I remember Sonic Rush is challenging because they just put a bunch of fucking pits everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is like not fun challenge, just annoying.
I haven't played Sonic Rush for more than like 10 minutes, so I can't really give a fair judgment on that. I just remember like I had like a DS flash card, I booted it up, and I was just played it for about 10 minutes. Just like, oh no, I just couldn't get behind it.
I think I own that game. I'm pretty sure I own it, and I didn't get past like the second level.
Jeez.
I just kind of checked out. It's like, no, this isn't fun.
So this series, right, Advance, this one's pretty traditional. Sonic Advance 2 puts like this ridiculous emphasis on speed. Not quite like Sonic Rush does, a bit less obnoxiously. But it's definitely like a big emphasis on speed. You can do like these air tricks by pressing the R button. And it's just like keeping the momentum up, but it's so kind of gimmicky. I actually like it. Like it emphasizes it to a point, and that makes it kind of stand out more. Like this one is more traditional.
Yeah.
And I think if you read these games in a vacuum, yeah, this is the best Sonic game. But if I'm going to go back and play the advanced games, I'd rather play 2 because it feels less like the Mega Drive ones, if that makes sense. It's like this one, it's just like, yeah, but I'd rather just play the Mega Drive games.
Oh,
but
I get you, yeah.
does something that they didn't do. And then Sonic Advance 3 is...
I'm just actually sitting there thinking, like... Because what game did Cream first appear in?
2.
Okay. Like in the entire
Sonic
series.
the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah.
1992. No, Sonic Advance 2. So, and I don't know how true this is. I've said this before. I think she was supposed to make a debut in Heroes, but they changed that to Advance. But I don't know how you would just change that. I don't know. It could be bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just having to do with the release dates, but I don't know. It's weird. It's that that character's kind of weird to me because they just kind of she just came out of nowhere, essentially.
Yeah. They can say about a lot of these characters.
I mean, true, but
like Rouge was just there. Like Knuckles just apparently wasn't like, "Who are you?" Just like, "Yep, it's her."
I don't know. Would you call this like this is mainline Sonic? I guess.
This reminds me of Castlevania on the GBA because the main Castlevania games were, you know, supposed to be on the PS2, but like, come on, like, you know, Aria of Sorrow. If you go like through the Castlevania series, you're not talking Lament of Innocence before Aria of Sorrow. Like, yeah, come on. So I guess it's different perception, but this isn't quite like that. I don't know. I suppose it depends how you view mainline Sonic games. Like, if someone who's like more of like a traditionalist like me, I kind of view this as mainline because it's a 2D Sonic game. But I suppose the adventure games of the time were the main series, and this is a spin-off. I can't vouch for like Castlevania though. Like, come on.
Yeah. I know it's just weird because which you're right, but at the same time, like, if you kind of consider this a side thing, then like Cream debuted in like a side series, and then appeared in Heroes, which is kind of like the big like, oh, everybody's got like
everyone's
a team.
here.
Not really, but
No. Pretty close actually, considering Chaotix are there.
Yeah. It's like we have all these teams that kind of like signify different eras, I guess, in a weird way.
I don't think it's like that. I think it's more just we've got these certain themed teams together, and it's kind of shocking how well they all fit together. You know, like how that speed, flight, power dynamic just happens to work for all these characters. That I guess Amy, Cream, and Big have nothing really in common, but you know they're kind of goofy, kind of more kid-friendly characters. So
yeah,
I never question that.
Yeah, it's like they fit together, but when you're thinking about it, yeah, they don't really have anything in common.
Reminds me of some of the teams in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, because everyone was in like an official pairing with like a unique intro in that game.
Mm.
But some of the pairings were just kind of weird, like Julia and Bob, just because it's not impossible they'd be working together. But like, how that's so random.
That is, we ran out of character teams that made sense.
Like some of these characters just don't have as many relations as the others. Sagat and Dhalsim were together. I always remember that.
What?
That was kind of random as well. But you know, they pieced together a story where it's like, I don't know, I think they're trying to help the kids or something, and Sagat just was willing to help Dhalsim out of. Yeah, what the hell do those two have in common?
Yeah, that's...
What was it, like, it was Dudley and Elena?
Was it Dudley in that?
Dudley was in it, yeah.
I don't remember that, jeez.
That game had a ridiculous roster.
We were supposed to look at that game at some point, and we never did.
Man.
And now we're on a Sonic kick.
Kind of feel like we go completely off topic during special stages, because they're special stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw any of this. I think I saw a special stage once, and I found it really hard as well, because the perspectives were like really messed up, and I was playing on an original GBA where you could barely see the screen.
Yeah.
Like I just dug out my GBA, which is, you know, still perfect working condition. And I was like, oh, I love the GBA. I mean, I'll just play on it instead of emulation. And then I turned it on. I'm like, oh god, I can't see. Like, how did I put up with this? But, you know, and before like everything was backlit, you just dealt with it, you didn't question it.
I think I actually had like some sort of add-on, like just like a light that was pointed at the screen or something.
I think I did as well, but I don't seem to have it anymore.
Yeah. I had, and then I got an SP, and then I lost it because I'm a dumb kid.
I never got one, and I really wish I had in retrospect.
Oh, that was neat. Yeah, played a lot of Sonic Battle on it.
Music's pretty good. Not like top tier Sonic music, but it's pretty good.
I always remember that
actually.
Like the second level has like a secret agent feel to it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of odd.
I guess. Yeah.
But like I always remember that one. It just that and the snow one.
That was a good theme. I like that one. Yeah, I like the snow theme in this game as well. I do tend to get all these snow levels mixed up in the trilogy, though.
Oh, I only have the one game, so that's just me.
I think I owned 1 and 3, but I played a fair bit of 2 through emulation. This was like an era where it was kind of a novelty where a system that was still getting games produced for it could be emulated on your PC. At least that was the first time I'd ever experienced that.
You know, kind of barring the weird lighting issue, the GBA was a great console.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, just had so many good games on it, and
it's ridiculous. Like alongside the Mega Drive, like one of my absolute favorite systems. Okay, that had to be Tool Assist. You couldn't have guessed that. Yeah, no, that's bollocks. You know, I don't think this is a pattern.
And it might be a pattern. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I didn't play it enough to tell that much. Probably a pattern, I imagine. Oh yeah, first 2D Sonic game where you can actually rotate the sprites when he goes through loops.
Yeah, right?
A very, very nerdy fact there, but something I always noticed. Yeah, I always get these snow levels mixed up. I get a lot of the advanced levels mixed up in my mind. There's some that was distinct, like Secret Base in 1, the Hot Crater in 2, and the fact that 3 starts off with a city level, which is just seems blasphemous to me. But I suppose that's post-City Crisis, so... Escape from the City. City Crisis?
City Crisis?
Genocide City.
Isn't Crisis City like from 06, or was that something else?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's in Generations, that's why I said that.
Right.
Generations being a game with way too many city levels in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew where any of these were.
The Rails thing is interesting because I feel like that's kind of not a good idea in certain situations because you're literally putting Sonic on rails. Like you're not actually like platforming, you're just watching him go. It depends.
I mean, they're not that long. So
Yeah.
this game handles rails completely differently from the sequels. In this one, it's really specific. You have to. I mean, you'll know this because you played it.
Yeah.
You have to. It's only Sonic or Amy, so you know only hedgehogs for some reason. I don't know why Amy can grind, but she can. You have to go to the front of the rail where it's horizontal for like a tiny segment, and you have to like jump at it and double tap forwards.
Oh,
Start
God,
grinding on it. In the other advanced games, you just kind of land on it and start grinding on it, and every character can do it. And it's basically like Adventure 2.
Right.
But in this game, this particular game, it's just really handled very strangely. So you've got these rails, but you'll hardly ever use them. He just picked up a shell.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah. So Advance 2 is like it's kind of wild, but not to the point of being like Rush, where you're just holding a boost button.
Right. Yeah.
I hate the boost button. I feel like the Sonic games are all about. They're not about speed. They're about finding and keeping momentum. But having a boost button just trivializes that. You know. And Advance 2 may have put a big emphasis on speed, but at least it wasn't as simple as just pushing a button. It was a matter of running over a speed boost.
I feel like old Sonic games have segments where it's just like, here's like a little speed thing, but they're very brief, and then the game stops you and then does some platforming segments. Like it kind of goes back and forth, whereas a lot of these games are just, you know, you get speed and then either you'll keep it throughout the entire level or you'll run into something and be like, well damn, that sucks, or fall in a pit.
This definitely has more, quote, platforming than 2.
Yeah.
And 3 just has some poorly designed levels, like not like overly blunt speed boost, just a lot of questionable level design. Also, it's also back to 3 acts, which is just no, I hate 3 acts.
Yeah.
Like I find 2 is just kind of perfect.
Like we talked about that a lot. It's like, you know, you could get away with 3 acts, but they decide not to, and it's like the reason. Like when you do 3 acts, it kind of feels lazy. You know?
Yeah, it feels like padding, and then I think 2's just right, you know. Especially if you do the thing where you kind of remix the music and maybe change up the background or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very strange to say, oh, this would be better if there was less game, but it's true. Like I just beat Streets of Rage 4, and it's not a long game, but it's like, but that's how it's designed, you know. You could.
Right, yeah.
But it wouldn't be to that game's benefit, you know?
Sonic is a pretty arcadey kind of game.
It always has been. I mean, all the Sonic games are just way shorter than Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, that gets a bit more complicated in the 3D era, but 2D definitely. Yeah, because these are the sort of games you can beat most 2D Sonic games in a single setting. Apart from Chaotix, which is just sadistic.
Like I'm trying to imagine like imagine Sonic 2, like the actual Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but it's like twice as long, you know?
Well, that one Mac exists. And I have no interest in playing it, because I don't care. It's like one of those stupid ones, it's like called XL or something, where they just put in a load of like unfinished levels. It's just like, you know, these are cut for a reason.
Right, yeah. Oh yeah, like, what was it, like, Dust Hill?
Yeah. Genocide City.
God, they actually make Genocide City? I haven't seen that.
I don't know if that's the ROM hack, but I know that's what that's from, like Sonic 2.
Was it like this wood zone?
Wood Zone, yeah. It's like, they cut it because it's boring as shit, and you can't make it fun.
Yeah, there's just a Chow floating in space. What is that?
Chow in space. No, what is it? Planet of the Chow? I forget.
I think Chow's in space is a thing too, yeah. Or somebody, like, it might have been a company or something, but like they made like an animation of that. I remember seeing it briefly on like Twitter or something.
Oh, it was the Tyson, he's Sonic Mania people.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see it, but I heard it was a thing.
I saw a clip of it. It seemed like it was pretty cute. Like,
I did watch the Sonic Mania shorts they did, which again pretty cute. A lot of like wink and nods to long-time fans.
I missed out on that. Might have to go. Maybe we should just check those out, like just on our own time.
I mean, I've seen them. But, yeah. I mean, they're kind of kiddie. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just.
I just know he doesn't get the emerald though. He just has it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Hey Tails, can you just drop me off like at the end of this level? That'd be cool. What? No, that's cheating. Oh, okay.
What if Tails gets it? Sonic driving the plane?
Probably, that's what they usually do.
I'm trying to think, like, they never made the emeralds, like... Well, I mean, at least in these kind of games, they never made it, like, the emeralds, like, some sort of logical thing. Like, oh, you find them somewhere that makes some sort of sense. It's always in
It's
some...
pretty video. It's very video gamey.
Yeah.
Even when they try to make the games more. I like how the snow stops.
Oh, yeah.
On the... I mean, obviously it does, but like, developers wouldn't bother to change that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, this was kind of a more dickish boss because it is actually possible to drown here.
Yep.
Usually, whenever they do a water-themed boss, like they'll have it so you can't drown. But no, this if you don't kill it quickly enough, oh,
Yeah.
well, you can.
That's the thing, yeah, you have to, in order to get air, you actually have to land on the platform and actually jump up there, and sometimes you have to do that without actually hitting the boss, and...
Insanely seems so perfect.
This one's going on a while, jeez.
The three games are pretty different. Yeah, I do tend to get them mixed up in my memory. I can't really remember the bosses that well. Although 3 like had that tie-in with Sonic Battle, it had Germal, which is like I guess the pronunciation is Emerald, because you know, as in emerald.
Yeah.
I think in my mind I always said like Ermal, but that doesn't make sense.
No. So, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's like, and then this level has. I remember this level's boss, but yeah. Aside from
Oh yeah.
I kind of blanked on a lot of the bosses in this game.
I remember this one now you mention it. It's definitely one of the more memorable ones. That's some level design there. What the hell?
Yeah.
It just didn't die there. Okay. That was very Sky Sanctuary.
So this is an interesting one because this is... Isn't this area called Angel Island?
I think so, yeah.
So, like,
I
this
always
is...
get this mixed up with Chaos, Chaos Angel from 3. Look very similar, although the music's way different.
So, like, it's like a revisit of an old area, but it's completely different.
I guess it is supposed to be, you know, the island, but...
Yeah, yeah. It's like, it makes sense, but it's weird, like, they just have the same name for it.
Yeah, if you have to like go on the Sonic Wiki or whatever, like, well, which Angel Island zone do you mean? And when they do a remake of a movie, it's like, which Ghostbusters? Like, god damn it!
I saw something about that recently where somebody mentioned, like...
It has a subtitle.
Well, no, it was like, I don't remember what it was. It was someone who was like, who the fuck is Melissa McCarthy? And they're like, someone else is just like, they're from the Ghostbusters movie. It's like, what? I don't... Who? It's like, you know, in the remake. Oh. Or not the...
I thought you meant the one people get found.
Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna say that the Ghostbusters movie actually had a subtitle, but it was like barely used.
Was it? I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, like I think the official title was something like Ghostbusters Who You Gonna Call or something along those lines. But for whatever reason, it just ended up being called Ghostbusters by everyone. But on the Blu-ray or whatever, that is like the full title.
Weird.
Yeah. Very like relaxing music for one of the more perilous stages with, you know, instant death pits.
It's like the sub-ultimate stage, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a pit right there.
Yeah.
It's very easy to die by that.
Pretty nice backgrounds.
Yeah, yeah, just a really
It's
good-looking game.
It's just really nice sprite work, you know?
Yeah.
Nice sprite work and that kind of not crappy kind of indie. We're using this as an excuse to not because we can't draw, but like really professional looking sprites, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, God, if this was indeed made by former SNK devs, then that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, this background isn't scrolling, but you know, it looks nice. If that. I can't tell if that's the rest of the island or we're floating above the ground there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Questions I'm sure the developers did not care about.
Pretty much. Although it's weird, like Angel Island is kind of an iconic area. Like it's like very well established, like what it is and what goes on there. But it's just weird, like that. It just kind of is a random place we stop by throughout this game.
Sonic doesn't really do locations.
Not really.
Not that much like Sonic 1 or Sonic 2 is like South Island, and that's about it. You know, in the instruction manual.
Southtown.
Yes.
I noticed the random ring pickup is here as well.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Kid.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to bonus stage. I keep calling them bonuses, but they're like not.
I think these are special stages, and then the gumball machine and whatever, they're bonus stages. If you want to be technical about it.
Is there anything like that in this game? I guess not.
I don't think so. These are like I didn't do these a whole lot because I couldn't find those damn springs, but I remember this being a lot harder than this player's making it look. Because the perspective is just so weird, and if you screw it once, it's like, well, that's it, it's over.
Yeah.
Now I played this on actual hardware, it's not like I was using save states. I'm sure once you get it, you know it, but it doesn't give you much of a chance to learn before kicking you back out.
Pretty much. You also have, like, no real indication of, like... And I guess this is kind of true of the other games, or at least two. You don't really have an indication of when you're going to, like when your time limit is for when you have to actually have the amount of rings you need, you know?
I guess not. I guess it's also kind of irrelevant, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
Like, the perspective on this is just kind of... Like, I mean, obviously you couldn't do this, but there's no, like, drop shadow or something to tell what you're gonna touch, you know?
Right, yeah. I noticed earlier
sure
they dodged, like, one of those speed booster things, which actually would have pushed them past some rings, so that's also kind of a dick move.
I'll know them when I see them, but off the top of my head, I cannot even remember what the other ones look like. I really can't. I kind of feel like we'll have to do the other ones now, because... these games aren't that long.
Nah. Because it'll be relatively new for me to see the other ones, because...
We'll do that, then. After I've already used all my anecdotes about them.
Still keeping up with the green shield.
Yeah. No idea. Just... Oh yeah, this boss.
Yep.
I always like the music in the second phase. He's still a dumbass. Man, there's something wrong with Knuckles here. There's just something that seems a bit off about him. I guess it goes, oh no! He's full of bombs!
Holy shit.
So this is something they did once and never again. Or,
Yeah.
Well, Sonic R, I think they had a robot Knuckles in, but... It's kind of fun, that. It's like, oh, remember when you fought Knuckles? And like...
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, really. But it's like kind of a callback, and then use a robot, which is... It's kind of weird, like, I didn't realize how many, like, 16-bit games there were with different versions of robotic Sonics.
Yeah, Silver Sonic, Mecha Sonic, and then Metal Sonic.
Yeah. Like,
So this level, I remember this level, this is a hard level, at least it has a... I haven't played this recently, but this does have a reputation for being very difficult. We'll see.
I remember this one being okay. I think the second act is pretty nasty.
I don't really remember this theme.
Yeah. A lot of people seem to remember this one. I've heard actually like several remixes for it.
Huh.
It's kind of Flying Battery, which is, more appropriate as the, final level as opposed to the second level.
It's definitely an interesting stage thematically because it's basically taking that last scene from Launch Base Zone when the thing takes off and it makes it into the whole level.
Yeah.
Because you actually see the progression every so often.
I'll say, like, I like the Game Boy Advance games a lot. I think the one criticism I'd have of the consoles, I'm not really a big fan of, like, the sound font. Like, the music.
Here's the thing. The GBA does not have a sound chip.
Oh, right.
It doesn't actually have a dedicated one, so I'm not technical.
Right.
And I can't tell you specifics, but I think it's kind of like software based, which is why GBA games sound radically different. There's no GBA sound. The Mega Drive, the SNES, like, they have distinct sounds. This doesn't because it's like software based, I believe.
That would make sense.
Just someone more technical to tell me I'm completely getting that wrong, but generally speaking, there's no normal conventional sound chip.
I just know that with a lot of limitations, I never really heard a lot of GBA games with, like, music that I really liked. It was always, like, it was passable enough, but there was never, like, a GBA soundtrack I really loved.
Yeah. I really like Aria Soro's soundtrack, but it's not like... But that, yeah, I guess it's good Castlevania music, but it's not like super top tier in my mind. Yeah. It's always sounded a bit tinny, and then you get an harmony of dissonance, which, oh my god. You want a reminder that not all GBA music is the same. I think again, this might be an oversimplification, but I think they sacrificed like the sound processing or whatever in order to make the graphics better, which is why it sounds like an 8-bit game. It's weird.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a conscious choice because they'd already made one GBA game. It's not like they didn't know what the GBA could sound like,
Right. I was trying to remember if how Circle the Moon sounded, because I remember that game looks like it was made for the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, that kind of uses like it sounds very sample heavy. That game, if you ask me, because it's kind of hard to judge because it's not even original music for the most part. That sounds like shit.
Yeah, that's. I'm. Not to make a thing out of it, I noticed that there's a lot more Speechu power-ups in at least this video.
We're in the Dim's era where they really took the speed thing to heart. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Definitely Sonic Advance too. It actually has like a scoring gimmick depending on how fast you're going. Oh god, we're in space.
This is pretty cool visually. I like it.
Yeah.
You get like storytelling without dialogue and with like very short cutscenes,
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what Sonic 3 did, and it was great.
Yeah.
And then you get Sonic Adventure. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, indeed.
How good Adventure 2 seems just by the virtue of being compared to 1.
I know.
Like, it's really, I can tell it's not that good, but in comparison, it's like a masterpiece.
I did the thing, like I wanted to play it just so I can see for myself, but like, after Adventure 1, I was going to like Adventure 2 a lot better no matter what.
Yeah.
That really was just a thing where, like, when I played it, I played it after the fact, and I'm like, well, I know it's not going to be as good, so I'm just going to accept it for whatever it is, and then go back to playing Adventure 2 when I'm done. Like, as a kid.
Then you get me, who's like, history of the series, like, oh, I love Sonic. Apparently this is as good as Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And then I'm like, oh, what the hell? Because that's all I'd heard, like, I heard it was like the best of the best, but then again, that was like when people had grown up with it, so,
It's like,
Oh God, this level is long.
yeah, it is. Jesus.
Yeah, now this is what I heard about when people complain about its difficulty. Because the time limit is an actual issue.
I think this is right up there. Kind of flickering, but anyway.
That took what, like 7 minutes?
Was it counting up? It's counting up, so 3.5 minutes. It just feels long for a Sonic level, because...
I think it reset with the transition. It definitely wasn't 3 minutes.
Maybe. I wanted to ask, because you talk a lot about the other Sonic media, like outside of the games. Did you actually, like, experience a lot of that as a kid? Like the comics and the cartoons?
The big two for me were The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is the...
Yeah.
The Robotnik, YouTube group one.
Yeah.
I had that like on VHS, and I don't know what channel it was or anything, but I remember watching a lot of it, and I think I had a couple of episodes on tape. So, you know what it's like when you have a kid with a VHS tape, you
Oh yeah.
You see them a lot more than you would normally. And the other thing was the Sonic the comic, British one. Like, I only keep. The only reason I don't shut up about it is just because nobody else seems to be aware it exists. Like all the Sonic media, it all gets mentioned apart from this one I grew up with, and it just kind of makes me sad because like, I really think it's good. Like not like just nostalgia. Like there's plenty of things I'm nostalgic for that I realise is shit in retrospect. The comic's like really good. Like considering it's a kids thing.
Yeah. Right.
Like the artwork's brilliant for the most part. I take mind to say different people working on it. It's not just one consistent thing. But for the most part, like the main Sonic stories, particularly at the end, are just really good, and the writing was kind of. I mean, I've read it as an adult, and honestly, it's kind of. You can read it. It's entertaining enough to like hold my attention. It's not bad. Those are the big two, and then you get like weird stuff like Sega World in London, which I've told you about.
Oh yeah.
The theme park. Well, if you can call it a theme park. I've mentioned that to you before, I know how. Yeah, it was. I think probably more so in Europe than the States, I believe. Yeah, like Sega's marketing was just out of control. And then by the mid '90s, it was kind of replaced by Sony's marketing machine, which kind of gobbled it up.
Right. I was just kind of thinking because like we have when we're doing me, you, and Yoshi for Sonic Adventure or any of the Sonic games, we have like 3 different perspectives because like you're a much bigger fan than I am, but like I did grow up playing all of these Sonic games, but I didn't really experience it outside of the games, and there was a lot I missed. And then I jumped on Adventure when it was new, or at least Adventure 2, and then kind of got like jaded by the whole experience. Like by Heroes, I was just kind of like out of it. And then Yoshi, who just like I think was his first game with Adventure 2, so like he's definitely coming at from like much newer than us.
Yeah, but different, very Like I said, the reason I keep pointing out how weird Adventure feels with humans and everything is because I just read that other media, and whether or not it's canon according to Sega Japan. Like, that's irrelevant to me because that's not what I expected,
Right, yeah.
That's why Yoshi's just like, that doesn't seem weird to me. I'm like, aren't Chow's weird? Isn't that weird? And Yoshi's just like, no, it's just Sonic. It's not my Sonic. I don't mind it, it's just... Also, it's kind of weird for me to say I'm a fan of this series because, like, I think I like a third of the games, if that.
Right.
But isn't that more interesting, though, isn't it? Isn't it almost more interesting that a series has bizarre, like, weird ups and downs than just being... like Mario, it's like, yeah, they're always good. But like Hotel Mario, like, they're all pretty good.
Right, yeah. Like,
but Sonic's so turbulent, it's, like, more interesting to talk about. It's like wrestling, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff is, like, more interesting than if it was just, like, consistently good and sane,
Oh god, yeah, it just runs the entire gambit. Just everything is in this one series.
Like, this series is insane. Like
I'm-
how the dips in quality are just ridiculous, and that's more interesting than if it was just consistently 9 and 10s out of 10. You know,
right.
I don't mean that I don't mean that's a virtue, but I don't know. I like things that are a bit crappy and a bit uneven. Makes it more endearing. I don't know.
It's more interesting to talk about for sure. It's like we don't like we're looking at this. We're not looking at Mario. It's like Mario's got good games and there's interesting ones to talk about, but like Sonic.
But I don't want to do a commentary on that because yeah, that's why we're doing a commentary on this series. Because my god, it gets interesting and weird. But there's also good things to talk about as well. It's not like just
Right.
oh, isn't this crap? Oh, right, now we're up to Dead or Alive 5 in our commentary series. Like, no, we don't. Nobody gives a shit if it's all bad.
Fucking.
Talk about here. And then I can talk about my weird history with the series, all the media. You know?
Yeah.
It's a theme, by the way.
Yeah. I thought it was weird, like, they do the Sonic 1 and 2 boss, and then they go straight to, like, a new one.
Yeah, and that's like the easiest two bosses as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, I get it's, like, the first stage boss, that's fine, but, like, where's, the waterfall boss?
You know, I wouldn't call this a bad final boss, but, like, the music is so kind of crazy that the actual designer's thing compared to some of the previous final bosses is kind of underwhelming.
It reminds me of the launch base boss, like, the one you fight before the final boss.
I was going to say it reminds me of the Sonic CD final boss, but I think that's just because of the kind of choir in the background.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that was... I guess we got all the emeralds though, so we get to see the thing I never did as a kid.
Actually, I remember the refights. I don't remember that boss, which is weird.
There's not much to remember, is there? Though?
Yeah.
It's not like a giant mech or something, that's kind of boring.
And, like, the recall fights is pretty fun, but...
So we got all the emeralds, right? So we're going to see more.
No, that final area was, the emeralds. I'm pretty sure it was. I think so, yeah. I don't think you get that level if you didn't have all the emeralds.
Oh, okay.
I think. I could be wrong on that.
But it has been a long time. I'm sure there's another one, like... But this is an ending, alright, so...
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm getting mixed up with the other ones. I know there's like moon base and things like that. Okay, I guess that's it. Fuck you. A little bit of cutting there because we don't want to go through every stage again. But I do want to talk about Amy. We'll get to see briefly here. So Amy can't spin dash.
Or then what do you call it? Like the jump, like the rolling jump, like.
Yeah, if you hold down and press B, she does, I think, like, it's called a hammer jump?
Yeah, yeah.
I could just be making that up, but she does, like, really high jump, but... She's, like, really vulnerable. To anything. It's basically hard mode, I actually really dig this gameplay style. In fact, I think she's my favourite character in this game, just because of the extra challenge.
Actually, like, remember, like, playing her a lot. It's interesting, you know?
So she was a secret character in 2 for some reason, but she just did normal spinning. She didn't have this gimmick, which is kind of lame. And then they put her in 3, and she would have this gimmick depending on who she's partnered with. So you can have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, or Cream use the Amy, like this kind of gameplay, if you had her as a partner.
Weird.
Yeah. Advance 3 was like say the MP trilogy. I'm using that example too much when it's not even appropriate, but you can kind of do a lot of mashing up.
Right, yeah.
But the level design kind of sucks, so I just don't want to play it. But you could play as every character with this Amy gameplay style in that game if you wanted.
If I remember correctly, I think if she hits a spring with her hammer, she gets sent flying even farther.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, she's dead.
Yeah.
I like how they... Like, I never understood inclusion in Adventure, but here, like, they actually made it really interesting to play as.
Yeah. If Adventure was... There's that. Adventure was definitely just like, let's just get as much as we can. without actually considering, like, if it's a good idea, whereas here was actually thought out.
Let's get that CD character back for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a spinning animation, I guess, because she didn't spin there. She was like somersaulting.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Tails, how's it going?
I'm gonna see all their endings.
Oh, I didn't plan that, but okay, sure. I just kind of skimmed the thing. I was like, okay, there's the final boss. And there's Amy. Oh, I want to see Amy. Oops, well, whatever.
It's a weird video, but alright.
But there's no Tails playthrough, so it's just... You want to see... Oh, no, Tails is there.
Yeah, no, the second playthrough was just random characters, like, just everyone else.
Okay.
So, yeah, as far as I remember, like, Tails and Knuckles played pretty similarly to the 60-minute counterparts. Just...
Yeah, not... Yeah, like a...
Ah,
strange pose.
I'm coming for you.
I'm gonna get you. I think they had like melee moves, but that's not exactly gonna like blow your mind.
Oh yeah, I forget that honestly.
Because you didn't really need to use them, that's why.
Not really. No.
He's just gliding down. He doesn't even need the plane, really.
I mean, yeah, same for Tails, but
Yeah. That's a good pose. I like how they've got like actual poses, not just
yeah.
the standing animation. Little. That's why these sprites are so good, you know, just the little extra effort they put in for everything.
I think they all have like unique idle animations and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is it Moon Zone or
X Zone.
Oh, we have to do this again. Okay, fine. This is the editing on. What? Okay. Let's just triple hit. Why not? Because I'm too used to the original incarnation.
I thought the little burner was supposed to hurt you, but I could be wrong.
No. Well, no, I don't think it's a bit.
I think it's one of those things I always assumed and never actually bothered to check.
Can I just say this Sonic 2 boss is probably the easiest boss in the entire series?
Yeah, because even the Sonic 1 bosses...
Let's put this in the final level. At least when they did retro throwback bosses in Sonic and Knuckles, you know, it was like Metropolis Zone
Right.
for Sonic 2. Want me to see this fucking thing again? I definitely remember it now.
See, it's weird, like, we always see, like, throwbacks to, Sonic 1's boss, and then, you know, Sonic 2 boss appears here. It's like, you never see a throwback to the Sonic 3, like, waterfall thing. Like, that guy was a dick.
Probably because it's hard to, like, just throw into a random level.
Yeah. I don't think I ever really fully appreciated how, like, cool it is, like, he kind of goes in and out of the water. Like, that's a really cool effect.
Well, Sega doing one on Knowledge Sonic 3 anymore, so what do you want to do?
Oh, yeah, there's that, huh?
I'm also getting real sick of them, like, doing Green Hill Zone and Chemical Plant. I love Chemical Plant, but I don't think they put that in Forces as well. Just why? Because they're popular. Oh, next stage, the moon. I think that's this game. I always get them all mixed up. I'm just flat out not used to seeing Supersonic in this game. Also, you can't actually turn it to Supersonic levels in any of these games.
Right, yeah. Which I'm not upset about at all.
Nah, I mean, I like it as a feature, but when for us doing commentaries, I'm glad it's not. So I don't remember this at all.
No, honestly.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think if you miss one of those springs, like that's it. You can't salvage it. That's what I gathered. Because I mean, he was getting every single. I'm pretty sure that's the opening for Shinobi 3. That really is. That's. I'm gonna have to compare those because it might not be literally, but that is the exact like same shot of 2 trees and the moon.
That was an insane time bonus, because he just beat that in a second.
Yeah, they were in Shinobi 3 in the intro. All of them.
Oh, okay.
And then Joe Musashi, like, flies down and cuts Amy's head off.
A few days... It took him days to fall back down to Earth.
I mean, the moon's pretty far away. Yeah, I never saw this. I may have looked it up like, in retrospect, but it's nothing I'll remember. Tiles are burning in the entry! Ah!
I don't know why that bothers me. They said a few days. Like, he was just out there for days?
I mean, I hesitate to mention this, but that is... He's basically gone Super Saiyan, and that is very much a Goku thing to do.
Yeah.
I'll be back when I feel like it. Fuck you. Bye, son. I didn't really miss much, did I? But not getting those headphones.
Yeah, not really.
What does this sound like?
Oh, I don't know. I recognize it now, but it's...
It sounds like Randy Newman or something. Oh, right. Sonic got the ammo.
Jeez.
Dimps. Your first and best Sonic game. All downhill from here.
God, I don't even know, like, how far we're gonna go with this, because there's so much more to cover.
Yeah.
Like, even talking about, like, there's... What was, like, the Game Gear games? There's, like, a million of those?
I'm not even gonna bother. I draw the line. I've never played them, and
Nope. Gotta credit that guy.
Yep. Yep, you gotta credit him.
Christ.
Man, they really didn't plan ahead. Hey, we want you to make music for our new mascot game. This is going to be our mascot for our whole company. Yeah, but no, you can keep the rights to the music. That's fine. This won't come back to bite us. I mean, I don't know how much trouble that is. I mean,
Why do they have?
please more.
Why do they have so much trouble with their music in the first 3 games? Because they don't own the rights to the first 2, and then the 3rd game, they don't even know.
Oh my god.
They won't even talk about what's going on there. Like,
Oh Jesus.
it's like back when Sonic was at its best, and they don't have the rights to any of that shit.
Oops. It's like we want the absolute best music for our flagship franchise, but the notion of a video game soundtrack is really in its infancy.
Yeah.
You know?
Just imagine there was something in, like, the first Mario
Oh, no.
games, like the first 3 Mario games on the NES that Nintendo didn't own. Just imagine. Yeah, this was pretty, even by the Chow Garden standards, this was pretty primitive.
Yeah, I think Yeah, no, I do not spend any time with this.
Oh, jeez.
I'm ready to hit stop, but I was like,
We got 3 minutes of messing around with the Chow Garden, I guess.
let's see it. I've never really.
I remember this now, jeez. It's not there for any reason other than just to...
I mean, transfer it onto the GameCube, can't you, or some shit?
I forget if you can transfer it from the GameCube. I know you can transfer it to the GameCube. So...
I know we've got synergy there.
Yeah. Well, matching.
Well, yeah, no, I'm starting to remember why I didn't really bother with this.
Yeah, no, this was... I mean, this is pretty childish, let's be fair. Let's be honest, this is pretty
Well, I mean,
just...
at the end of the day, we are talking about a children's game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
let's not kid ourselves.
I think the thing about the ones in Adventure was, like, you basically would play the levels, like, you'd be playing actual Sonic, and then you would go to the Chow Garden afterwards and then take everything that you found, and then, like, you know, increase the Chow stats or whatever, with all the animals and stats or whatever. So, like, you would actually, it's, like, incorporated into the gameplay, but this one is just, like,
I just realised what bothers me about the Chow, right?
what's that?
Sonic's got kind of a... I don't think there's any questioning that Sonic is a Japanese design. But that being said, he would like if you tweak his design, he'd fit right in with like a Mickey Mouse cartoon or something. And he always had those two art styles, like the American box art and the Japanese box art. They were like two kind of Sonics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the more kind of edgy American one with like the different shading. If you look at the boxes, you know what I mean.
Right.
Chow just Japanese. Like, there's no like cultural kind of ambiguity there, or I don't know what you'd call it. Like Sonic himself has this sort of global kind of.
Maybe this might not, I don't know, but I'm just kind of looking at this and being like, well, the Sonic series has always been about, like, animals. Like, I mean, you know, he is an animal. And then there's always, like, rescuing birds and stuff. And then the Chow are just, like...
They're like aliens, like what?
Yeah, like...
I just don't think they fit in. But, I mean, I'm saying that because I thought I knew Sonic, and then suddenly I jumped from... Because I had a PlayStation, I didn't really keep up that much until Sonic Heroes. So I basically went from, like, Sonic 3D to Sonic Heroes, which
Yeah.
gave me a bit of whiplash. I don't know, I just don't think the Chow fit in.
They were just kind of
if someone is
fun.
screwing up with them, I guess they're fine, but it's just weird to me.
I don't know, they were just there, I guess.
And aesthetically, I just think they look too... Well, they just look like Tamagotchi rip-offs. I mean, that's what they are.
Pretty much, yeah.